This class is going to be basically for introduction. Okay, thank you very much. All right. So today is going to be basically for introduction, and we're going to start to make sure we cover up everything that we're going to see. This is the season breakdown. We're going to talk about introduction, like okay, my name is Rauf Afis from Tandibi's Technology. I'm going to be your instructor for today's class, and this is the season breakdown. We're going to talk about introduction. We're going to talk about RPA and the terminologies, and so on and so forth. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started with introduction. But before I start this, I'm going to give a overview of what this course is all about. First of all, this class is supposed to be a full-time practical. Like everything we're supposed to be doing in this class is going to be based on practical. But we have a time limit, it's just 1 hour. So meaning that what we're going to do is where we are supposed to do like 2-3 tactics that to demonstrate what we are trying to do, we're going to do one, and maybe the recorded version is going to be available for us to rewatch, and I encourage us to try and do so. Yes, exactly, that's what I'm saying. The recorded version is going to be available, and I'm going to post it at the platform, you understand. So there are some things like maybe time things that we are unable to say, maybe a question that we couldn't answer, tags that we couldn't complete. We're going to make sure we demonstrate that and post it along with the recorded version so that we can all follow up. Okay. So, and again, I want everyone for this class is, like I said before, it's going to be a practical class. Assignment will be given, and it is mandatory that we do the assignment before the next class, else I will not allow the person to enter the next class, because that's we are here for a purpose, and the purpose is to achieve something. You understand? This is a career course. It's not just a discovery. It's not that maybe okay because the word we use automation doesn't mean that we just want to like teach you people how to use a particular software. This is a career course. You understand? We are coming to that. So please, that is what I would like us to understand about this course. We're going to be giving assignments, and I would like everybody to make sure we submit the assignment before the next class. The assignment, everything is going to be practical. It's not all about English. Okay, so let's get started. Like I've said before, my name is Rauf Afis, and I'm your instructor for today's class. Okay, I don't need to talk much on this. Please, if you have any questions, you can just raise up your hand or use the chat, just like what one of us have been doing. He has been sending the chat, and I'm seeing it from here, and I'm responding. Verbally. Okay, so please, to those of us that are new to this Microsoft team, we learn to use that. You raise up your hand, or we send our chat. Now we're going to start with the course, the field that we are about to the field that we're about to that we want to introduce to us. It's what we call RPA. Now we use the word automation because if we said come and learn RPA, a lot of us might not have interest, but we use that word automation because we all know that okay, everybody understand automation. Now in the field of tech, automation falls under RPA. When we talk about automation, it falls under RPA. It's a career course, and this free class, if you want to like be using it for your day-to-day job, you will achieve that. It's okay. If you want to like say okay, I want to take this, just like we have software developer, we have RPA developer, and that is what we're going to start. That is what we are here for. You understand? To understand what is RPA. So I'm not going to be using automation anymore. Rather, I'll be using RPA. You understand? And I will still explain that. So when we talk about RPA just simply means digital worker that may make human or actions. You understand? Meaning that everything you do on your system, you can actually use RPA to design a software that will mimic your action on your system. That's what it means. It's a digital worker. It will mimic whatever thing you are doing. You can click, you can type, copy, paste, just like human. You understand? So that is why RPA is a field under tech that you can decide to take as a career course and proceed. There are a lot of advanced stage. This is just basic, and in every field, you just have to start with the basic. You understand? So that is what the purpose of this course is for to introduce what we call RPA. And even when we'll be talking about the monetization stage, you will see how this RPA has been into computer world. Okay, now sorry, let me accept. I think we have. All right, let's continue, please. Okay, so that is what we are going to be talking about. So I'm not, like I said before, I'm not going to use the word automation anymore. Automation is now a kind of outdated word. So whenever I'm talking about RPA, I'm talking about the course. And I believe at the end of this, a lot of us we're going to browse more on it and see the economic advantage, see a lot of things you can do with RPA. So let's continue. Now, first of all, what is RPA? Okay, now, like I said before, we say RPA, it simply means robotic processing automation. Robotic processing automation. That is the full meaning of RPA. Please, a second, please. Let me grant. I think I've accepted. Okay, please, let's continue. Let's move on. Okay, like I'm trying to give the full meaning of RPA. RPA stands for robotic processing automation. Now, like I've said before, like is a career course, and uh, every simple task, repetitive task, let me use that word, repetitive tasks that you perform on your system, you can simply design what we call bot. You understand? You design bot, and when you design bot, you make it to perform all those functions. Now, some of us, we've seen it like browsing a website and something will show up that, please, we want to know that you are a human. Click this to identify that you are a human. The reason is this: a lot of people use RPA, design a bot that can log in into a website and perform some function or some tasks. You understand? So now people want to get the actual people coming to their website to know if these are they human or robot. You understand? And that is why a lot of people use that, we call it captcha. Even Google uses it much. You understand? It's because there is a bot that you can design to perform, to mimic human action. You understand? And that is in the field of RPA. And now the benefit of RPA is speed, accuracy, cost saving, scalability, free human for higher value tasks. These are the things that RPA brings to the table. Now, like I said before, this course is not just a theoretical class, is a practical class. So what we'll be doing in this class, we're going to start automating. So whatever thing we automate, like we automate and we want it to perform a particular task, either to work on Excel or to work on any application on our system, that particular it is called bot. We will not be using that, we will not be using automation, we call it bot. And that will lead us to I think without wasting time, because we've exhausted like 15 to 17 minutes. So the terminologies, I'm going to post it on the group. You understand? It's not something that we don't need to be talking about English, English, English. We just need to kick the ground running to demonstrate why we are here. So the terminologies, I'm going to post it, the full terminology in RPA, so that when we start using it, or when somebody use it, you know what the person is talking about in the field of RPA. Okay, so now we're just going to start with RPA tools. There are a lot of RPA tools. We have a PDA, that is a Power Desktop Automation. I think that one is Microsoft. Is for Microsoft. I've used it before. It's even the first. Is the first software I use. You understand? Now UiPath. UiPath is another tool. We have a lot of them, and I want us to browse on it. I want us to research on them. We have a lot of tools, RPA tools. You understand? So, but UiPath is one of them, and not because we are using UiPath for this class, is because we are using UiPath because UiPath is the most used RPA tools. A lot of big companies use UiPath to automate, to create bots. Sorry, to create bots. You understand? A lot of big companies, even if you want to like monetize this RPA knowledge. Let me say, for example, you want to become a freelancer. You will see any automation, they will specify that UiPath, or most of the things that they want you to automate, you have to use UiPath. So UiPath is like a general and most acceptable tool. Like the PDA I mentioned is also popular, but it's majorly for Microsoft packages. You understand? So we are going to be using UiPath for this RPA course. Like the benefit, we've seen it, easy to use. It's just all about drag and drop. You are not writing any code. You just have to drag any action you want the bot to perform. You drag it and you publish it, or you play it. You understand? The community of UiPath is very large. Meaning, if you need more idea, or you need any support, very easy to get. Like I said before, is very easy, and most used RPA tools. You understand? It can integrate easily with Excel, Outlook, databases, and AI tool. You can use this UiPath to work with database. You understand? So it's very, very easy, very, very simple. So what I'm saying is this: UiPath, using UiPath for your RPA journey is the right path and is the right tool. You understand? So whenever you are talking about RPA and somebody asks you the tool you are using and you mention UiPath, the person will understand that yes, you are really, really ready for the journey. So let's proceed. Now we're going to talk about how to install UiPath. Like I think I posted something like that. Before, that we're going to talk about how to install UiPath, and so we're going to start with installation of UiPath. Please, if you are not seeing my screen, because we are gradually moving into the practical aspect of this class, which the first thing we're going to do now is to install UiPath. Now, to install UiPath, you type uipath.com. uipath.com. As soon as you type uipath.com, this is the interface. You understand? Because this is what we'll be using. Everything we'll be talking about is story. We are now moving down to the practical. This is what we'll be using to create our bot. If I'm to create a bot to interact, to perform whatever thing I want to do on this website now, I can easily do it, and we'll get to it. Because I said it initially that RPA have the ability to click, to type, to copy, to paste. You understand? And this is what all the actions that we perform on our computer. You understand? So if I want to like say, okay, maybe I'm just so tired, or maybe this installing this UiPath is a repetitive task that I need to keep on doing. All I just need to do is just to create a bot that can do that on my behalf, and I can also set the time that is going to trigger. You understand? We'll get to that. So when you log in, when you enter uipath.com, the first thing you do is to you create account, click on this, try UiPath for free. It's a free open source, it's a free program, you are not paying anything, it's free. The tool is free. So try UiPath for free. Then when you click on it, you have to click create account to take you to this stage where you create your account. You understand? I've already opened this before because I don't trust network. So even despite that, it's still, I think I shut down the system anyway. So now when it will take you to where you create your account. Just trying to be fast. Maybe I should just open everything, keep tab by tab so that we can. Okay. Now this is where you're going to create your account. You enter your email, but I prefer us to use Google. It will just ask you to use Google and use Gmail. Sorry, it will ask us to, instead of typing email and password, just use continue with Google. Okay. When you click on continue with Google, it is going to take you to some steps that choose this, shows that you want to use this to log in, blah 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 blah. And at the end of the day, it will get you to this point. As soon as you click on maybe you choose continue with Google, it will tell you to choose account. If you have other Google account on your Chrome, it will list it for you. Now this is the account I want to use, so I'm going to select this account. This is just normal way of creating, signing up on a website. There's no big deal about this. So I'm just going to move to where we're going to download and install the UiPath. Like I'm coming, if it means taking it from the first one, I say click on try UiPath. The second one, like I said, those of us coming in, please, if you are not getting it, don't worry. This season is we are recording it, and we're going to post it. We're going to post it to the platform so that you can rewatch if you're having issue. But I don't see any big deal in this. Just register, then continue to where it will ask you to. Okay, after you finish registration, like ask you, is browser, somebody is asking whether is it app or browser. Is browser, because UiPath is for system. You understand it? Like I said before, this is a career course. Is not something you do on your phone. It's just like saying you want to start building app with your mobile phone. You can't use it, you can't compare it with a desktop. So it's a browser, so use your browser. Okay. Now I'm sure if we are with our system, I'm sure we'll be trying to replicate what I'm doing. Okay, now after that, it will take you to this place to create organization. Now you can just give it any name. Give your organization any name, because what it's trying to do is, he knows that you want to start like organization, what they will use to understand your workspace. That is what it means by asking you to create organization. You understand? So just after you finish signing in through Google, signing up through Google, it will take you to this part where you ask to create your organization. Continue by clicking on create organization. You know, I've done all this before, so, and I don't have any email I can use to demonstrate, so I have to leave the tab like that. Okay, now when it gets to this point, it will ask you to the name to display your region. You enter it and you continue. Then the next stage is just to complete your sign up. So let me just open all the tabs so that PT can load faster. Okay, this is where we are. Tell us a bit about yourself, display name. Then after that, just follow the step continuously. So let me just navigate to where you will have to choose to download UiPath Studio. Please, if you are not following, use the chat button, like the chat, to send me a message so that I can understand where you are confused, where the confusion is coming from. Okay, like I said before, we have just 1 hour for this course and we have a lot to cover, and we've wasted like 17 minutes because a lot of us didn't join the class on time. So we need to make sure we meet up what we are supposed to cover. Okay. Okay, now after you finish signing up, it will log you in. You will see this where you are seeing my cursor. You will see your email logo or whatever. You will see it there. That's to show that you've completed your sign up and you've logged in into the cloud of UiPath. So the next thing at this point now is, do you want to download the application, the software to your system, or you want to start using Online Studio? But I advise us to download it. Don't use this Online Studio when we get to this point, because network will disturb you. Also, you have a lot of there's what we call package that you'll be installing for every task. So let me say, depending on the type of job you want to create. Okay, so you're going to create on looking for desktop products, this download center. You're going to click on this. Please, I hope we're all seeing it. That is why I say I want to move straight to where I'm sure that there might be a little confusion along the line. So you just have to click on download center. Okay, when you click on this download center, it will take you to the next okay, when you click on download center, it will take you to this. Immediately you click on download center, it will take you straight to this part. Then you can now click on download button. Please, if we are not following, we should be free to ask any question, even if the question is big that we cannot attend to it here. Like I've said before we upload the replay, we're going to attend to all questions and answer all the questions. Okay, please, if you're having any problem, just type it so that we know that we are all on the same page. Okay, now this is just purely on we are just starting the course, and everything we'll be doing is all about introduction. From our next class, that I'm sure that everybody we have their UiPath set up completely, then we will not even have to speak much English. Everything we'll be doing is all about task. Okay, so when you download this, immediately you finish downloading this, then it will ask you to install. Follow the process and install. We all know how to install software. It's just normal way of installing software. Okay, so just install it. As soon as you are done with the installation, the next thing the interface is going to come for you is this. Once you are done at the process where you are installing it, we ask you to install Chrome extension. Please accept, say yes, because that Chrome extension it will help you maybe when you are doing browser recording. We'll come to that. It will help you for that. Please accept it, proceed, and when you get to this, know that you are 100% ready for your UiPath installation. Okay, now at this point, what you need to do is don't enter any service URL. This interface will show as soon as you finish installation and you click open it. Once you open it, two software is going to show on your desktop. The first one is UiPath Studio. I hope you can see my cursor. The first one is UiPath Studio, and the second one is UiPath Assistant. This is the one you will be using. UiPath Studio is the one you'll be using to create your automation. You understand? Like I said before, I will not use the word automation again. Rather, I'll be using bot, B-O-T, bot, just like chat bot. You understand? I'll be using BO because once you are done writing, let me use the word programming. Let me just use that word, but it's not that you are writing any code. No. Once you are done programming your actions, put everything together, it becomes a bot because it will perform a specific task on your behalf. Everything you can do on your system, the bot, you can actually program the bot to do it. Create a bot, sorry, you can actually create a bot that will perform it. You understand? So you use this UiPath Studio, leave the UiPath Assistance. When we get the where we are supposed to talk about this, we'll talk about it. Let's ignore this for a while. So this is the one you're going to open. Double click it, and it will open this interface for you. Then sign in. Remember that I told you that you should create accounts. That we will first of all create accounts. Okay, now when you want to sign in, when you click on sign in, it will take you to any of your let me say, for example, if your browser is open, it will automatically open that particular place that you've already entered your software and your login details, sorry, your email, sorry, and it will use that credential to log you in. You understand? But if your browser is maybe the email you use, the email you sign in with is not on that same browser that open, it will ask you to log in to use your email credential. Okay, somebody is asking, installing the app. Oh, sorry, let me read that chat so that because I want to know if something I can answer now or something will answer together. Okay, installing the app from scratch, why we follow will have been better. Yes, because of network. You understand? Because of network. And if you follow up the way I'm demonstrating it, you cannot even catch it right now because we have to cover what we are supposed to cover. But if you watch the replay step by step, you will get it. Okay, so if I'm installing it, it will take time. My network might not as fast as your own, you understand, or Mr. B network might be slow and we need to move on. So that is why I just want to demonstrate the stages, you understand. So even if you are not getting it here, I'm sure by the time you watch the video, it's not something that it is just normal. Sign up and choose a product to install. Okay, please, let's just follow it, let's just manage it like that. Because of the time, assuming we start the class earlier than this, I could have said okay, let's just do it. But for now, I cannot start doing that because some people will still be lacking behind. Okay, so I don't know if I've answered your question anyway. Now, once you sign in, the moment you click on sign in, it will take you to what we call, like, let me say, when you click on sign in, it will just ask you to enter your email. It will open a browser and ask you to enter your email. That same email you used to sign up, that is what you are going to use to sign in into the app. And this is the interface that will come up as soon as you are successfully signing. Then just click on close. You don't need this. Okay, now let me just explain this interface. Now this particular panel here is for you to, is always ready, is for start all your projects. Maybe the project you are doing, the one you've already published, the one you are still working on, you will see it under open research. It will be listed here. You understand? If there is a particular project you've saved in your system, you want to open it, it will still, you will use this button to do that. Then this is when this other panel that is called new project is where you start your new project. And the only thing you just have to do right now, the only concern you have at this moment, at this stage, is process. This process is what you use to create a blank project. Okay, this is what you will use to create a blank project. Now we've finished explaining how to install UiPath. And before we proceed, I would like to attend to one or two questions if we are having difficulties, so that it will help me to compile it better. Please, I'm coming. We have some. Okay. Now, please, on this part that we just finished, how to install UiPath, if there's any question I want to attend to, because I think we don't have any further questions, so we proceed to the next slide. Okay, please, if you can see my screen, I think we finished installing UiPath Studio. So what we need to discuss right now, we need to explain the environment. Working with any software, the environment is the key. When you understand the environment of that software better, you can do a lot of things on your own. In fact, the confusion is no longer there. So we're going to start with to explain everything about UiPath interface. You understand? This first one I explained, this one is just like the door. It's not really your workspace. So if you want to start any new project, like I'm seeing here, you click on process. You understand? Then you give it a name. Let's call it basic class. You give it a name, basic automation. Let me just say basic class. Then description, you give it any description you want. Then this advanced, you can leave it the way it is. Now, those of us that we are good in coding, because you will like want to like alter. There's what we call action. You understand? You will see what is action. Action means what you things that you want your boat to be doing. You understand? When I will post the terminologies of RPA, we all see that. Now when you want to alter, some of us that we are good in writing code, you want to alter your action, maybe you want to modify the action to your choice, or to use one or two. You can choose the language, VB or C sharp, anyone. You understand? So but this one is, we don't need it at this our level now. We don't need it. It's just for programmers. You understand? So you click on create. When you click on create, it takes time to prepare your workspace. Okay, it takes time to prepare your workspace. And but before this will finish loading, let me go back to the slide and use the slide to explain one or two things. Okay, now we have the ribbon. The ribbon contains the main controls. The main controls, just like our this, just like this what is it called, this PowerPoint you are seeing here. That's why I don't want to play the slide. Now this is called ribbon in normal Microsoft software or this MS Word. Okay, please check the display. Okay, I'm coming. Please, I will attend to that question. I will attend to the question later. Let me just finish the. Now, the ribbon contains the main controls. We'll go back to the software. Then we have what we call activities panel. You understand? These are major ribbon. These are major panel that we'll be working with. You understand? As a UiPath user, you must know this, because this is everything you are looking at, everything you are working with is on this. We have the ribbon, the activities panel, which contain all the drag and drop tags, actions. Either you call it tags or actions. Drag and drop action, this you see them on the activity panel. Then we have the properties area, which is to customize activities. Maybe you want to set one or two settings for your activity, then you can use this property. I will still show you. We have the output panel. The output panel is for execution results. When you run your work area, when you run your, maybe you run your bot, then the output panel will show you if there is error, you will see it there. If there is no error, you will see it there. Everything going on during the execution, you will see the results there. So those are the major panel that we're going to discuss. So let's go back to, but before I go back, let me attend to somebody ask a question. Let's continue. Now, this is, okay, you're welcome. Okay, now this is the interface. Like I mentioned before, the first thing I mentioned initially, I mentioned the ribbon. It contains the major control. Now, this area you are seeing my cursor that I'm dragging left and right is what we call the ribbon. It contains the major functions. Okay, it contains the major function. Please, I'm coming. Continue. I'm very sorry. Now, this part is what we call the ribbon. Contain all this, everything you are seeing here will be using them. So there's no need to rush. Let's just know where it is ribbon. This is ribbon. Now, this panel is what we call the activity panel. This panel is what we call the activity panel. You can see these three buttons. You can use these buttons to navigate. What you are seeing right now is your project explorer. Now, this will contain the name of your project. Everything you need to install. We call it dependency. That the action you want to automate. There's what we call dependency. We'll get to that. So all the dependency that you need to install for those activities to be active, this is where you will find them. In case when you try to use a particular task or activity and it's not responding, you just have to check your dependency. Don't worry if you don't understand. We'll get to that. We understand it. So this is where the activities panel is. Everything you are seeing here is like a command, is an action. Yeah, you just need to drag it and drop at this your work area. This is your work area. You understand? So when you drag them on this your work area, it becomes, you are trying to create a bot, sorry. So this is the activity panel that I explained, that I mentioned before. Then we come to the property area. This is the properties area. This is the property area. Now, when you drag any activity on this, you drag it. When you drag it on your workflow, on this your work area, then the property area will be active for you to set. We'll still see the use of that later. We don't need to rush. Then the next one is the that I explained before, the output. This down part is the output. You can see it's showing us that there is no error. Now, assuming when you set your activity, there is something that you are supposed to set, like a kind of input. You understand? Because activity is like action. one action will lead to second action, another action will lead to another action. So if there is a particular input that the first action need to send, but you did not set it well, you will encounter error and you will see it on your output. Once there is no error, everything will run smoothly. This is the output panel. And I think these are the three major: the ribbon, the activities panel, the output panel, the property panel. This is your workflow. Okay, please, I've just finished introducing the UiPath interface to us right now. If there's anything that we don't understand, I want to welcome, but I will continue, but just feel free and type so that I will attend to it. Okay, so these are everything that we need to know about the interface of UiPath. Okay, so we're going to move to the next class. We'll leave it like this. We'll move to the next class. So let's go to the next slide. Sorry. So we'll finish explaining UiPath interface. So we need to move to the next class. And I think that is where we start our first automation. So we're going to build, the task is, we're going to build a bot. We're going to build a bot. Like I told you before, you see the time is, we don't have much time again. So we're going to build a bot that opens Notepad. What the bot is going to do is, it's going to open a Notepad and it is going to type hello automation mastery hub, and the bot will still save the file for us. This is our first demo, this thing that we're going to build right now. Like I told you before, everything we'll be doing after this introduction is all about building a bot, and the assignment I'm still going to give us is going to be all about building a bot. And like I said before, those of us that join late, you have to submit your assignment in the platform. You upload it on our WhatsApp platform before I will allow you to enter the next class. Okay, because we are here to achieve something. Like I said before, this class is either you use it for your personal field occupation, or you want to use it as your career field to become RPA developer, which one will be talking about monetization. You will see how this is a big game in the tech industry. You understand? So we cannot just omit the fundamental, the basic, just like that. We need to be sure that yes, we are the same page. So assignment is very important, and try as much as we can. I know a lot of us, we are tired. Watch the replay to understand more better. There are some tasks like this. Now we are supposed to do 2 tasks. Now before we proceed to the task, let me take you to the assignment slide and give you guideline, explain what you need to do. I added a little thing to the assignment. You understand? It's because when I was watching this replay, I observed that there is something that needs to be included for everybody to see. Okay, so I added it. So I'm going to go back to the slide. Now this is the assignment. The assignment is install UiPath Studio, the community edition, which we've done that. And if you've already installed it, there's no problem. Skip to number 2. Then the second says you should explore the interface and describe the panel. That's your UiPath interface. Take a look at the UiPath interface. Familiarize yourself with the interface and know or explore all the panels. Then number 3 now say build a bot that is going to open a notepad in your system. Type your full name, occupation, or your field. The reason why I'm including this occupation and field, like I've said before, I said I would like to know everybody's field or occupation, because at the end of this course, we're going to give a project that will cover everything from week 1. And this project, I want it to be field or occupation related, so that it will give us idea that everything that we learned is what we can use in our current, we can use it to do 1 or 2 things in our field or in our job right now. So that is why I want this to be part of I added it to be part of the assignment. Then the last part of the assignment is let the bot save the file with shortcut. I'm going to demonstrate how to save normally, but I want you to be able to go extra mile to know how to use the bot to save using shortcut, which is Ctrl S. I'm going to give you hints like the activity to use. Once I'm done demonstrating, then I will show when the tags, I will show you the activity. The same way you use activity to save normal is similar to the same way, with just one of different steps you save using shortcut. Okay, so that is the assignment that I want us to do. Now, how to submit the assignment? Once you are done with the assignment and you run it and everything is perfect, just take a screenshot of your workflow. Let me take a look of the activity, you understand, and see if you actually get it perfect. Now, if you still struggle to do it, there's no problem. I will still as we move on, maybe in next class, we will just practice that assignment together so that some of us will see it by ourselves. Okay, but try to do it. But before I go back to the task, I will still prefer that after this you try to replicate everything about this task. This one I want to do now, so that you will know that yes, you really understand it. Do it yourself, okay, after my demonstration. So let's go back to the now. Whenever you want to start any project on UiPath, you need to install some packages that will enable your activities to work, okay, or that will enable you to use the activity. Now, like I told you before, this dependency window contains packages that align with different activities. Okay, so what you just need to do right now is, but on the like right now we don't know the package, and let's assume that we just want to start the project, no proper planning. We don't even know, this is the first time we are doing it, so we don't know the activity to use. So what you just need to do, let's go back to the assignment and analyze it. The assignment says that build a bot that opens a notepad. So that means we need activity that can open application, because notepad is an application, to open application. Now let me say this before I continue, please. Okay, now there's something I want us to know right now. Whenever you open your project, new project, you want to start new project and you open your workflow, the first activity that is important for you to install is very, very important. Very, very important, because you will always need that activity to do job. Like from our next class, we start doing it, we start using it, sorry. So it's very, very important. So what you just need to do, make sure you are connected to the internet before you try to install any activity. Okay, make sure you're connected to the internet before you install any activities. All right, so now what you just need to do is, you see this display that my cursor is, that is called app/web recorder. It is very, very important, mandatory, that you do what? You always install activity that will make this to work. And how do you do that? You don't need to go anywhere, just click on it and it will start to install. If you don't install the activity, it will not, you can't use it, and it's one of the tool in UiPath that is very important. You can't do away without it, and when we start using it, you all will see that it's very, very important. So you see that the thing is, it has finished installed. It will not take your time, you understand? Just install it while you start planning on other activity that you think that you can use for this project. Okay, so it's installing. That is the first activity that you're going to install as soon as you open your UiPath to start your project. Okay, now once it show you like this, it show that it's active, so you don't need to do anything with it. Just cancel it and go back to your workflow, your work area. Now we are done with that demonstration. Now let's now start the task properly. Like I said, the task says we should open a notepad. So, and now if you take a look at this dependency, we see that we now have two automation activities. We now have two, so we have two, and we've installed, and with this one now, so we've installed it. So like I told you before, that this panel is activity panel, but I don't like to use this panel. I prefer to be in my work area to select activity that I want to use. So anytime you want to do that, just click on the plus sign. When you click on the plus sign, now you will see this will come up. Now this is another place you can type in your activity. So the activity says that we should look for activity that can open application. So let's assume that I don't know the activity. I'm just guessing, like I've not done this kind of project before. So because open application, I will first of all try to see whether we have any activity that is called open. Let me see whether I will see anything open. I'm not seeing open application. Okay. Now let me now go back. Let me delete this. There's nothing like open application here. You're only seeing open app page, open URL apps, blah blah blah. What we want is open application. So let's now type the application itself. Let's see things that is activity that is associated with anything application. I'm just trying to give you sometime how I used to explore activity by myself without thinking of where do I get it. Now you see what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing use application. For you to use a particular application, it's like you are now telling the system, I want to use this, meaning that I want to open this. So this use application is closely related to open application. So that means this is the activity that we need. Okay, this is activity that you need. And when you see activity like this, before you can use that activity, you need to install it first. Like this one, I've already installed it. And like I told you in the class, that once you see you didn't see install, it means that activity, you can't use that activity. I think maybe I should just close this up, but let me just continue. But once you see, immediately you click on it, it will ask you to wait a little bit and it will install it for you. Okay, now how do you know that this activity is not installed? Like this particular one, my cursor is now, I'm seeing installed, and there's no any arrow that shows download arrow here. Okay, so let's look for another activity that, so that you understand that this activity you need to install. Let me use Excel. So let's try. Okay, let's try another activity, maybe so that I can show you people how to identify when to know that this, like I said before, now that you need to install. Let's say, for example, now application. No, I told you that we've installed the use application. So let's say Excel. Okay. Okay, you see use Excel. Now if you look at it, you will see that that install I told you is not written here, and the arrow I told you to look out for is here, meaning that this activity you've not installed the package, so you won't be able to use it. So all you just need to do is to click on it and it's going to install. Okay, but like I said, let me repeat myself again. Before you start anything, always try to install your app web recorder tools. Install the package for the first time at every project. When you launch new project, once you click on it, I've shown you before. So now let's proceed. Let's go to the assignment. Let's go to the task. The task say that we should build a bot that opens Notepad. So we're now going to look for activity that use Notepad, just like what we've done before. Then use Notepad. Let's say use application. Sorry. Click on it. Now this is the activity. You can see the activity window. Once you, if you don't know what the function of any activity, you just have to do what, place your cursor at the top. You will see it, use application, open a desktop application or web browser page to use in your automation. So now we need to put in repair input, because activity may either accept input or give out output. So the input is asking us to indicate application to automate. Now before you click on that, always ensure that that application you want to automate is open. Reason is this: as soon as you click on this indicate application to automate, any other thing you click is going to take it as the application you want to automate. So in order not to make a mistake, let's make sure that our notepad is open. Okay, let's make sure that our notepad is open, so you can go back to indicate the automate. Now look at it. Now you see, now this is it. Once you click on this, it will pick, is it this application or is it this one? So if I click on this PowerPoint, it's going to indicate that it's PowerPoint that I want to open. So I go back to and I click on it, just a single click. It's okay. It's because I've done something like this before. So when you see object repository name on title notepad, just say reuse. Okay, so now we've done with the first tab, which is open application. Now this activity, now when you see do in an activity, it shows that the parent activity, which is use application, it can accept other activity as well that it will run repetitively in as much as the parent application is active. So meaning that, what do you want to do if notepad is open? If I open this notepad for you, what do you want to do? Now you will now put in everything you want to do inside this do. Do is an iterative command, you understand? So what you just need to do now, let's go back to the assignment one more time. Then we want to, after we open the notepad, we want to type into the notepad. So let me select this thing we want to type, Ctrl C. Okay, now let's go back. So what we're going to do right now is to locate activity that can enable us to type. So we just click on type. We'll see type into. Now remember that we are working on this application that is currently open, that is the opening notepad. So now it's picking it for us. However, I still, to verify that everything is okay, I will still advise you to click on this. Click on it because there's something I want to show you. You click on it, the input. Now when you click on it, it will now ask you to select element. Element means the way you want to type into. You understand? And you see now it's highlighted. Now assuming is this LO automation that is active. Okay, sorry, I think I made a mistake. So I'm going to delete this. This is not my target. It's not what I want to, so I delete it. So what am I trying to say is this: the application, the notepad we open is a blank notepad with initial name of untitled. Now assuming when I click on indicate the application, it is this second tab, this LO automation, that is open. It will show you that the target is not found because the parent activity is referring to untitled notepad application with default name untitled. Now any other thing you want to do under that, any other activity inside the parent must reference that untitled. So if you try to use that with another application that is different from the parent, it will not work. Don't worry, you get it better if you don't understand. Let's just proceed. So we're going to select this. We're going to select this, click on it, then validate. Validation successful, confirm. Okay, reuse repository, just reuse. Okay, now we've select the application we want to type in. It tallies with the notepad we select. So now let's now input type. What do you want to type? Let it be in quotes because they said according to the instructions, they say quoted. Anything you are typing in must be inside a quote. So let me paste it there. And let me delete the first. Okay, I think we are done with this. The first is open notepad, the second is type in the notepad. So we need to do that. Let's run it. Run, take over this debug, click on this arrow and click run. Okay, now let's see whether it's going to type that same thing inside the notepad right now. Look at the input, the output, sorry. This output is showing how your activities, how they are being compiled. You understand? So if there is no error, it's going to execute your activity. If they now LO automation mastery up, so we are good to go. Now we've completed the step 1 and step 2. Then the last one, which is save the file. So let's go back to save the file. Let's go back. Okay, now they saved the file. Now we need to, first of all, before you attempt that, you need to go back and try it manually. Okay, go back and try it manually. Now normally, how do you save in Notepad? You click first, you click on file, that is the first step. Second, you click on save as, then that is the second. Third, you type inside this. Okay, then fourth, you click this button save. That is for we need 4 activities. That is what it means. Let me come again. The first activity is going to click on this file. The second activity is going to click on save as. The third activity is going to type into this to give it a name, and the fourth activity is going to click on save. So let's go back to that. All right, so the first activity to click on the file. So how do we do that? Let's locate on click. We have a click activity. Double click on it. So what is the input? It's asking us to indicate what we want to click. Indicate in on title notepad. So anything you are doing must be on title notepad file. If it is an existing file you want to work with, once you click from the beginning, it will pick the name and it will continue to any child activity you are putting under it is going to. So let's click on it. Now it said target application could not be identified. Now I don't know if any of us can tell us the reason for that, but let me just explain without wasting our time. Now remember I told you, let me open the notepad that is open. The notepad that is open is hello automation file, hello automation. There is no blank notepad name on title that is open. Then you click on it. Okay, please, if you have any question, what you just need to do is drop it at the platform. I will explain through voice notes. If it is something that needs practical, you just need to maybe before the class I will answer that. I will try to do activity or do something that will answer that. Okay, now so let's go back to that input again. The input of this click says where do you want to click, and you see that it automatically picked the interface we are talking about here. So now it's now for you to see it. Now make sure that your cursor, the green button, cover all the file. That shows that that is the element you are looking for. Then you click on it. Let the green border cover the file to show that you are selecting the full label. So we're going to validate and we're going to confirm. Now look at it now. That is it, meaning that we've clicked on the file, which is the first activity. The second activity is we are going to click on save as. So how do you do that? Let's bring in another activity, another click activity. Click. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We're going to select the. Now what do you want to do? Now the problem here is anything you click, like I told you, you understand, anything you click now is going to take it as the element, as the target. But meanwhile, we need to first click this file so that we can see the list of other sub menu. So how do you do that? What you just need to do, oh sorry, let me delete it. That is not what I want. So how do you tackle this? So what you just need to do, take your cursor to this pause for 5 seconds, pause it, click on file, then wait for it to come up again, to load again. Okay, now it's back again. We are back to. So what you just need to do is you need to take your cursor to save as, let it be highlighted, then you click on it, then you validate, then you confirm. And we've clicked on file, we've clicked on save as. So the next one we're going to do is to type the name. So the next thing we need now is no longer click, rather type activity, or you call it type command. So we go to do type into. So in that case, we will now indicate what you want to type. Let's indicate the same thing. We're going to do it. You pause, you open file, you click save as, you allow it to load back again. Now you select, this is where I want to type into. You click on it and you validate, you confirm. confirm. Okay, so then the last one is to now click on save. Now if the name is going to be, we want to do first automation, type in this, okay, let it be inside quote, else it's going to treat it as a variable, and we'll come to that later, and it's going to have error. So put it in a quote and put first automation. First automation. All right, so let's put the last, then the last one to click on save is going to be click command, is going to be, so we're going to do the same thing. Select, as you see, is already, the dialog box is open, so you don't need to go through the process of pausing. So all you just need to do is over this save, click it, validate, and confirm. All right, so I think we are done with it. So let's test run our bot. So now, please, if there's anything you don't understand again, like I told you, what we are interested is for you to see how people can do basic automation, how you can create a basic bot. And the truth of the matter is that these steps, what we are doing right now, is the basic. It will introduce you to how this environment, how this RPA works, and you get, the more you do work, the more you do more projects, you get exposed to many advanced activities. Okay, so let's test run to know from the error output. We are not seeing any error, so let's see whether we have any runtime error. You understand? Because during this design mode there is no error for now. So let's go back and let's run it. Oh, sorry, we're going to encounter error here. Okay. Hello, automation mastery up. Click on the file. Okay, then go to save as. Type first automation. That is what we type. Click save. Boom. We are done. And that is how to automate. Now, if you take a look at everything, you see that the bot can type, can click, even if it's single click, double click, left click, right click, can do it. So now maybe if when we'll be talking about maybe in our next class, we will see how it can copy or extract data. Okay, now this is what we need to do about, this is how to automate. Let's try, and on our own, after we finish installing the UiPath, let's try this before the homework. Now let's now go back to the assignment. Now the assignment said you should use shortcut in the sense that, let's assume this is another, a first thing. When I click on Control S, it will take me straight to this dialog box. So it means that use shortcut. Now when you want to use shortcut, let's try, and let me give you the, let me minimize this because we are done with this. Yes, so let's say I want to use shortcut. Okay, I just want to show you the key to shortcut. Okay, let's try, the int is, let's use keyboard shortcut. Now the keyboard shortcut is going to ask us, which application do you want to, then you choose application. Sorry, okay, let me choose this application, but I've not used the use application. Let me cancel this. Let me bring up the Notepad application to the screen. Then let me try application. Which application? This is the application. Okay, we found blah blah blah. We use, this project I've demonstrated it before, so that is why. So Microsoft blah, blah. Now the keyboard shortcut, go back, select, send the key combination, the keyboard shortcuts to be sent. Okay, we've identified that it is untitled notepad. That is where we want to use it. So let's now say we want the keyboard combination. So you're going to put Control CTR, let me record it. Control S. Okay, are you with me? So control, you just record it, you click on record and you press the combination key that you want. Okay, now if I run this, I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try and run it. This is how to, why I don't want to position it, I want you people to know where to place it. You understand? So that is why so let me run it and see if it's going to show, and after you finish, you know what to do. Perfect. So this is how to use shortcut. So that is how to work for the assignment. Okay, so this is how to do the assignment. So instead of you using the normal way, use keyboard shortcut and follow the demonstration here. Now the only thing remaining for you is to know where you're going to place the shortcut, and after placing the shortcut, where what next to do. Okay, and that is the end of this class. Please, like I've said before, let's try to attend the class. In that way, we know we are moving together. Okay, and this course is a very big field, and a lot of us we know when we move further, you will see wonderful thing you can do with it. Remember that the world is moving from digital to AI, that is automation. Okay, so we just need to start preparing ourselves so that we'll be able to match the strengths of AI. A lot of people say AI is taking our job. It's not taking our job, rather it's making us to work efficiently. Now if you now have the ability to automate your own job based on that, like to automate your own tasks by yourself, that will be very sweet. Better still, if you have more knowledge on it and you are very creative, you can discover a lot of ideas, things that company are struggling to do. You design bots for that. Some people are responsible for designing chatbots, which many companies use to chat. Some people are responsible for designing auto response, both for WhatsApp and email. Still this RPA they are using. So whatever way, whether you are using it for personal or for commercial purpose, this course is very important. So we're going to end the class like this, and we'll see you next week. Please try to do your assignment, take the screenshot of your work environment, your workflow, then send it to the platform. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.